Alright, in this video I want to talk about something that I heard somebody mention. They wish that it would work that certain way. And what I'm talking about is a relay for WISP. Like if you got a backhaul, I do believe it's Britt that said it, from say the data center, shoot it over to a relay location and be able to send the signal right back out with another radio without having to use a router or a switch or anything like that. Well, I started thinking about it and really dug into Ubiquity's firmware and hardware of how it works. And I said, well, I'm going to give it a shot. So I pulled out 4 radios that works on 2.4 gigahertz. And I said, I'm going to set up an access point, and then I'm going to set up a receiver as a relay, trying to configure that one so then I can plug it into another radio at the same location and be able to resend that signal out to another location to receive it. So we have an access point, sends it over to a relay station, it will receive it there, then have another radio there and send it out to another location, like Britt did, go around a mountain. But at the relay, it goes in one radio, comes down the Ethernet wire, into PoE, come out of PoE, over to the other PoE, and then back up to the other radio without a switch, without any kind of router or anything at all. Just goes from radio, PoE, jumps over to PoE, from LAN to LAN, and then out the PoE to the other radio. And the part that was kind of mind-boggling a little bit, you have to think, figure out how it works. Going from the first AP, going to the first relay radio is no issue. That's a common thing you do every day. Get the 2 radios at the relay station or location, whichever it may you want to call it, to communicate with each other to get signal go in one and come out the other without any help of a switch or a router of any kind. Just put a jumper between the 2 PoEs. Well, I sat there and put pencil to paper and figure out IPs and figure out where I need to put IPs, what configuration I need to put into radios to get it to do whatever. I got the first 2, access point to the first CPE. That's no problem. That's like I said, that's just a common thing. What I really had to figure out the firmware is how to get the 2 radios tied together at the relay so I don't have to use no switch or anything. Well, after 4 hours of working my brain, putting some numbers on paper, this is what I got. I got 4 radios talking all the way through. This is the first access point, which you see is 207 talking to 208. And here is the 208 and 207 link, and then the 208 here is hardwired to 210 here, and it's communicating to 212. Here's 212 and 210 communication, and the 212 is plugged in this computer. So we got 207 plugged into the router, sending the signal out to go to 208. 208 and 210 is hardwired in from PoE to PoE, and then the 210 sends out a signal to 212, and 212 is plugged into this computer by the USB Ethernet. And you see that I have internet. And just to show the wire setup, got the PoE plugged into here, got the Ethernet wire right here, plugged in back of this wire right here from this router, and the PoE comes out, goes to 207, communicating from 207 to over to 208, and 208 goes here and the wire goes into here to this PoE, which is 208, and you see the jumper coming out of the LAN here and the other end as I walk it through, and it comes to the other PoE, which is 210, and then the PoE comes out, comes over here, 210, communicating to 212, and 212 as you see goes right there, goes to PoE 212, comes out the red cord, comes up, red cord, plugs in to here. And we go to the internet and show that that's the only one that's connected. Go to connections, the only one I have right there. Now I do have another one, but I got it disabled right now, as you can see. That's the one I have. It's the USB 3.0. That's the one that's working. That one's disabled on the motherboard. So it is possible to use and make a relay with two radios without any switches or routers, and just jump them together, and it will bring the signal in from one and out the other and continue your signal to wherever you want. And this configuration, you can just keep relay. Of course, you know you're going to lose some signal and all if they're a good distance, but it will be endless of continuous internet. So you don't need a router or a switch to make a relay. You just need two radios configured in a certain way and get it to communicate with each other. Now if you want to put a switch in there, then, or a router, and you'd be able to get internet in that location. But if you don't want internet in that location, you just want it to go in and out, and that's it. This is the way to do it. This is from the internet, from that little router. The cube sends a signal to this one, and this one is physically is the jumper through the PoE to PoE. Then this sends out a signal to the big dish, and the big dish LAN side is plugged into this computer. So it can be done. Right, just to show that that one connection is what's running all these radios in a link together. Let's see if we can get this. I'm going to unplug I'm going to unplug the USB and you'll see something on each screen indicating it's lost connection. I'll unplug the Ethernet wire and alright, look at that, lost connection. Now let's connect it back up. That should be it. All reconnected. That's all synchronized together in a link. It can be done. Wasn't easy, but it can be done.